Right now, you have two options. You stay in the addiction. You keep looking at the stuff you don't want to look at. You keep on feeling shame, disgusted with yourself, frustrated, low in confidence and disconnected. Or you choose to change your brain for good and live a life of permanent freedom. Let's hack our porn brain and live a life of permanent freedom. So, how do we do that? Well, first of all, we've got to understand that right now, the brain has wired to want porn due to a transcription factor called delta phos-B. Essentially, what's going on here is that the brain has created a memory that's been formed due to the evolutionary reward of an orgasm. So it's connected porn with this massive evolutionary reward of actually reproducing. Well, not actually reproducing, of course, because porn isn't leading to you having children, but the brain thinks it is. And so the brain wants porn. We got to start off from that basis that you want porn. Now we have two paths. So dopamine is in the ventral tegmental area, and it can either go down the mesolimbic pathway or the mesocortical pathway. The mesolimbic pathway is like a very primitive part of the brain. Essentially, it's going into the nucleus accumbens, the amygdala and hippocampus, and you're going to look at porn because you can't really think about the consequences. In that moment when it's going down the mesolimbic pathway, all you're thinking about is orgasm. I want to pass on my genes to another person, right? But obviously when we actually deep it and we think through this decision, we realize, well, yeah, porn isn't serving me in any way. It's not helping me reproduce. It's actually doing the opposite of that because it's leading to all the shame, the anxiety, the self-hatred and the disgust and the frustration and all of those horrible emotions. So what we really want to do is get that dopamine flowing down the get the dopamine flowing down the mesocortical pathway. That's where we're actually going to think through this rationally, engage the prefrontal cortex and actually make a choice in that moment. So, okay, I could look at porn right now. Like, that is an option for me. That is a choice. But what is that going to lead to? Is it actually going to help me in any way? So let's get the dopamine flowing down that pathway instead, right? That's how we're going to hack it. So as I say, the mesolimbic pathway, the pizza, the gaming, the high dopamine hits, the pornography. We don't want any of that. We really just, it's not serving anybody. The primitive part of the brain is going to want it, but it's not actually helping you. Alternative, mesocortical pathway, responsible for calculation and planning and actually thinking things through and trying to help you achieve the goals you want to achieve in life. Direction, thinking about what is it that I actually want. What do I want? Like me personally, well, I want more confidence. I want to feel in control of myself. I want to feel connected to people and together. I want to feel aware of my mind and focused. And I want to try and help other people quit pornography. So for me, in those moments that the urges come up, I know I can go to that primitive choice of just indulging in some temporary pleasure. I mean, it's not even really pleasure, is it? It's not actually that good. It gets glamorized in the brain due to dopamine, but it's not even that good. Or I can choose to actually think it through. What are my options here? Option A, option B, make a choice, rewire the brain and live a life of permanent freedom so that I can go make more money, connect with people better, provide for my family and just feel good and like I'm adding value to the world and society and really caring about others because my brain's in a really good place and I've got good mental health. You always have that choice, you can do the same. So what else do we need to really do to actually rewire the addicted brain? First of all, I really suggest getting real on all of this. A lot of people, they actually don't even think they're in an addiction right now. They're doing these no-fap streaks like it's a little game, like it's a little thing to do for self-improvement. Self-improvement and no-fap, I mean, I don't know how it all got twisted and messed up, but no-fap and actual self-improvement, they have very little to do with each other. In my opinion, no-fap's really about changing the addicted part of your mind. Actually quitting porn should be about changing the addicted neural pathways, but it's become like merged with self-improvement, which is, anyway, we could talk about that forever. But what we want to do is get real on this. We want to go, yeah, okay, porn is actually really not good for my mental health. It's causing all these problems, maybe in my relationship. We work with a lot of guys who are married and they're kind of on the fringe of having a divorce because it's causing that severe a problem in their relationship. So get real on all of that stuff, write about it, make a letter to yourself, documenting how you feel. The other thing you want to do is actually think through, what are the benefits? What are you going to experience from quitting this? You're probably going to get on a lot better with your friends and with your family, and actually feel way more proud of yourself, in control, confident, and have the capacity, the mental ability to care for other people more, and have that compassion and empathy. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes, because you're no longer stuck thinking about yourself all the time and your own ego and how disgusting you feel and all of that stuff that I used to experience as well. And then the other thing we really want to do is identify the junky thinking. These are the rationalizations, excuses, just all the bullshit that comes up when you're addicted to get you to actually engage in this compulsive behavior that you don't want to do. And then you put the remember letter, the benefits list, side by side. You make your choice, option A, option B, strengthen or weaken. This is how we hack the brain. And then what you're doing, if you compare and you have these like remember letter and the benefits list, what you're doing is you're getting your brain back in this space here. You're getting it back in the mesocortical pathway. You're actually making a choice. You're getting the dopamine from the ventral tegmental area into this decision-making, planning, well-coordinated path where you can actually make a rational choice based on the things you truly want, instead of it just being focused on, I just want an orgasm, this really like primitive state. So we want to hack the brain and get that dopamine flowing into the right pathway by actually thinking this through when we have the urge. That's how you change the neural pathways, is by having the consequences outlined next to the benefits of choosing to willingly accept the temporary discomfort. I hope that makes sense. I know I've gone through that quite quickly. This method, I've only really spoke about a very, very small percentage of this whole method, but this was taught to me by this amazing woman, Mary Portas, who has been teaching addiction recovery since 1990. And the amazing thing about all of this is that you can stay stopped correctly for good. Never actually having to worry about triggers, never worrying about looking at porn ever again. You stay stopped correctly, and you actually change how you think, so you change how you feel, and then you change how you act for good. So thanks so much for watching this. I hope it has helped you, and feel free to book in a call with me to learn more about the fundamentals of the Beyond Compulsion method, the method that's helped me finally quit porn for good. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.